All right, y'all, holiday weekend is over. Back to where we go. Get a brand new month of December. And boy, do we have some money to make together here this week. Now, one big clue on tonight's chart telling us that if we're lucky tomorrow, we might have one of my favorite trades, a double bottom, a retest trade setting up for Tuesday morning. We'll talk about why I say that in tonight's video, but more importantly, how to time the perfect double bottom entry, stack some profits on Tuesday morning. So we'll cover entries, we'll cover exits, we'll cover the entire roadmap in tonight's video. I want to make sure you have a game plan to make some money tomorrow on Tuesday morning as well. So charts are ready. Enough of the intro. As always, thanks for tuning in and watching our videos. Hope you guys had a restful holiday break, but it's time to stack some chips here this first week of December. S&P SPY, ready to go tonight. Nasdaq triple Qs are ready. I have 4 clues on these charts telling me where I think the money is made tomorrow. The first clue, it's right here on the hourly time frame. I like to use the hourly chart, the highest time frame I use, as a directional filter. And it's pretty easy to see right now the buyers are in full control of momentum. That's a directional bias going to Tuesday morning. Second clue is down on some tick charts. Before we do that though, let's just schedule for tomorrow. We got a busy week ahead of us, but no major news tomorrow. So a wide open day tomorrow as far as news. Be aware though, Jay Powell speaks only a few minutes away right now as we're recording this at 8 o'clock Eastern time tonight. You know, everyone's wondering, will they cut rates in December? So I would be surprised if the markets did move a little bit there because of Jay Powell here tonight. So no major news tomorrow. Be watching the Jay Powell speech tonight. See if that moves the markets for us here sometime overnight. Tomorrow night, though, we'll talk about the big ISM services number coming out on Wednesday, the big personal income number coming out on Friday. So there's no major news tomorrow, but then we go into some big news later on in the week, so make sure you come back to watch tomorrow night's video. Back to our charts though. We get Jay Powell speaking here about a half an hour away right now. Let's now dive into some tick charts here. The time charts are great for the bigger picture direction, but the tick charts are where it all comes together because tick charts are best for timing entries. And by the way, if you're watching for the first time right now, that is a 7,000 tick chart, upper left-hand corner, and that moving average right there, it's the only moving average we need to make repeatable profits. That is the 21 EMA. I have 3 more clues right now on this tick chart. One big clue is this range right in the middle. Now, what do ranges do? They like to rotate. They go up, they go down, they go up, they go down. They rotate back and forth. And most importantly, we know that around the edges of the range. The edges of the range is always where the best entries and exits go. Ranges love to rotate. Now, what do you notice about that rotation right now? The amount we went below, they didn't quite finish off that rotation going higher. We call that a failed rotation. Failed rotation is a bearish clue. That's clue number 1 on the tick charts. The second clue here on the tick charts is, the most important clue I see overall, is that strong run going down that we saw on Sunday night into Monday morning. Now, why is a strong move a big clue? Because in a bullish market overall, if I see a strong move down overnight, the strength of that move, it's almost like unfinished business. Sellers are going to try to take out that low before we resume the overall bullish trend. What might be the most important clue? Strong run down. Think of this as unfinished business for the sellers, and man, oh man, what a great spot for a bear trap to buy right back up into that range up overhead. And another big clue here is a previous range waiting down below us. Now, if you watch my videos, you know this, but in case you're tuning in for the first time right now, anytime we see a range breakout, it's not an if, it's a when we see a breakout pullback. So if the trading gods are watching down on us right now, I would love to see a nice deep pullback all the way down around that 67.74 area. We'll cover the Nasdaq in a moment as well. There's a similar level there in the Nasdaq. We'll show you guys as well. So put these pieces together now. We know we're bullish overall on the higher time frame. We know we got this range right now. We know the edges of the range are where the money is, right, for entries and exits. That strong move down wants to retest before we go back higher again, and the breakout pullback zone is begging to get lit up like a Christmas tree. So knowing that, it's very easy to see right now, I would love to buy a bear trap down here. Get down below that low. Again, get outside the edges of this range. Really anywhere in this area would be a great spot to time a bear trap. Now, how would I time the entry on this? Because we all know that timing the entries is actually where we make all of our money. In that area, I'm going to use a software tool that combines Fibonacci, Elliott wave, and real-time order flow to time the perfect entry tomorrow morning. It's called AlgoBox, and AlgoBox is the future of trading as we know it. In fact, what I'll do is I'll put a link down bottom in tonight's video. I'll drop a pop-up there, up top there. Hit that link to pop up there or grab that link below and learn about AlgoBox, because we all know that AI is the technology of the future, and AlgoBox wraps together the newest AI tools along with stacking confluence like Elliott wave, Fibonacci, and times entry with the coolest technique with real-time order flow I have ever seen. We're going to be using that tomorrow morning in our trade room. So again, hit that link that popped up there or grab that link down below and learn more about the AlgoBox trading system, because again, when we make that run going lower, I'm not going to blindly buy down here. I'll use the AlgoBox tool to time the entry and start buying on that move lower and keep adding as we rotate going higher. Now, a couple things I want to mention on a breakout. We oftentimes will see as we go lower, we'll oftentimes get an entry going long once, we'll retest that low twice, and we'll do it again. So be aware tomorrow morning, I'll be looking for AlgoBox signals to buy the initial breakout lower, but don't be surprised if this thing makes a strong run down, retest that low, and we do it again. Again, we call these retest trades in our trade room double bottom retest trades. And again, we'll time the entry with our confluence, Fibonacci, Elliott wave, real-time order flow. You can learn more about that with that link I posted there back above. That's how I want to buy this. That's how I want to buy this going lower. Now, I want to talk about going higher here, because in all reality, this range, it's going to want to rotate. And we're overall bullish right now. We may see this thing run higher. We may also see this thing break up and then come crashing back down again. So how would I buy this? How would I sell this going higher? We're going to cover that in just one moment. Before I do that though, let's talk about one more variation of this. You'll notice that I have that range right in the middle, the amount above, the amount below. I mentioned earlier that I want to get outside the edges of this trading range. But what if all I get is a little tiny pullback off of that low? Yeah, it isn't ideal, but my technique on this will be if all we see is a shallow pullback right now and I run higher, my focus will be looking for entries underneath a prior swing. Now again, I'm going to drill down to a faster time frame tomorrow morning, and I'll use my AlgoBox software to time the perfect entry, stacking the Fibonacci, the Elliott wave, and then picking that perfect entry with that real-time order flow technology that AlgoBox is so good at. So if all we get is a shallow pullback, again, I want to go all the way down, nice deep pullback, and get my signal to buy down there when we also see it run and retest that low as well. So again, that stuff's the easy part. If we shallow pullback though, the name of the game now is I want to get in below prior swings. I'll lean on AlgoBox tomorrow morning to give me the entry timing on that, but that's the goal. That's the adjustment we make here if all we see is a shallow pullback. Now, what if we go higher here? Could I sell it back down again? Absolutely. Could I buy it going higher? I definitely can. Let's grab the Nasdaq here right now, because Nasdaq, of course, is very similar here over on the hourly time frame, on the Nasdaq right now. And by the way, guys, if you're enjoying tonight's video, do me a favor if you would, please hit that like button for me. Make sure you subscribe. I know we're all busy people these days, especially after the holiday weekend. So thank you so much for tuning in and watching my videos. But what do you see right now in the Nasdaq here right now? We are definitely bullish overall on the hourly time frame. Again, that's my directional filter for tomorrow. Now down to our tick charts though. On the tick charts, what do you see right now? There's a range right there. And again, what do ranges do? They like to rotate. The amount above, the amount below. Love that area around that 25,103. Look at that strong run down. Again, in a bullish market overall, when I see a strong run going lower, the momentum of that move going lower is going to want to pull back, retest that low. Again, this is where I said earlier, a double bottom retest trade before we resume the overall bullish market going higher here. So that strong run down, again, think of this strong run down as unfinished business. And the final clue we have is that beautiful breakout pullback zone. Again, talk about unfinished business. It's not an if, it is a when. That range back there got that big breakout around the holiday. Get that breakout pullback around that 993.5 area. So just as we said earlier on the S&P, again, the edges, right? The money is made around the edges. So my favorite trade for tomorrow is run this thing lower. And then again, I'll use the AlgoBox system to stack together Fibonacci, Elliott wave, and tie together this brilliant use of order flow that only AlgoBox can do. That will time the entry not only on the breakout lower, but adding to my position as it rotates back up into that trading range. And again, don't forget, right? Oftentimes these breakouts, we'll see one signal to buy off that low. It makes another leg going lower. It retests that low, and we can do it again, right? Another bite at that bear trap apple. Again, think about retest, right? Double bottom retest. We go down, we retest, we trap the bears in, we use AlgoBox, time the entry, and we buy it right back up again. We run lower, we trap the bears in, use AlgoBox for the entry signal. If it comes back and retests that low, I'm doing it again, right? Using this range above me to rotate back up into that range. Now, here's a question for us too. As we go higher here, right? As we go higher here, how do I sell this thing back down again? Well, first of all, anytime I'm going against the overall direction of the hourly time frame, this will always be a smaller size trade. If I want to sell short off the top of this range, there's two things I want to be aware of. One, this needs to be a half size position, right? Will not be a full size trade going against the overall directional bias. Two, I want my entry signal to be above a prior swing. This is an easy way for me to filter out the less reliable signals and take the best ones. So the key here is if I want to sell short off the high, I'm looking for ways to get those AlgoBox entry signals above a prior high, right? Above a prior high. That will give me a much better result when I'm going against the overall trend, right? And again, we know where the market wants to go, right? It wants to go up. It wants to rotate down, the amount above, the amount below. I would love to get a bull trap up here. And again, I'll use AlgoBox to signal the entry for the short. And then once we take out the edge on the other side of the market, let's buy it right back up and run right back into that range overhead. Just remember though, I can be a lot more aggressive with my AlgoBox signals buying off that low than I can be selling off of that high. But now what about this? What if we really break out really hard here? What would I do in that situation? There's actually 3 different types of trades I'll use if we really break out running higher here. First one is a 2-legged pullback or a breakout pullback. If I see a strong breakout going higher here, I then start watching for a 2-legged pullback. And my goal is to use this range for a breakout pullback. Now, think about 2-legged pullback. Bears once, bears twice, right? 2-legged pullback. Think about a measured move that goes a bit too far. A measured pullback, a 2-legged pullback. And again, that will give me the best area for the entry. And to time the entry, what I'll do is I'm going to stack a bunch of confluence with AlgoBox, Fibonacci, Elliott wave, advanced harmonics, and the entry trigger is obvious. AlgoBox makes trading easy because the entry trigger now is that proprietary order flow technique. You'll see how easy it is with that link I posted there up above. And remember, on a breakout pullback, target 1, back up to retest the high, target 2, let that last piece of the trade as a runner. The second trade I'm looking for as we go higher here will be a pop and grind breakout. Every once in a while, we see a range breakout and price starts grinding. Now remember, grinding markets are very, very strong markets. So if I see a pop and grind going higher, I'm gonna get a lot more aggressive. I'll find a channel off the highs, bring that channel off that low. Now here's the magic. Look left, find some prior swings. I want to get underneath those prior swings. And again, I'll lean on AlgoBox to stack together confluence and real-time order flow technique for the entry timing. Easy trading with AlgoBox off the low of that channel. Time the entry. First test is the best test. Love those pop and grinds in our trade room. And then finally, last but not least, one of my favorite ways to trade tomorrow is, let's say now we go higher here and we go into a new trading range. Now, these are always the easiest ones because what do ranges do? They like to rotate, right? The amount above, the amount below. They like to rotate back and forth using symmetry, using triangles. Okay, once I find that trading range, remember, this range down here wants to be a breakout pullback. So if we're lucky enough tomorrow to pop higher here and go into a new trading range, now all we do is we wait for a breakout going lower. Again, I want to get back around these ranges, use this previous range as a breakout pullback. And again, all I'll do is use AlgoBox to stack together my confluence, time the entry with easy order flow technique there. It will do all the heavy lifting for me. And then what I'll do is I'll take the initial signal, add to my position, and we're trying to get that rotation going higher. So with AlgoBox tomorrow, I can buy the initial breakout. I keep on adding on new signals that come in. And the goal is to rotate all the way back up and cash that paycheck on the other side of that trading range. Now, where things get a little more difficult is something that happens is sometimes we'll go up into a trading range like this and we'll wind up going higher first, right? And then come crashing back down again. Again, I will look for ways to use AlgoBox to time the entry up there. But remember, whenever I go against the trend, two things, right? It's always going to be above a high, right? Above a prior high, and it's a half size trade, right? Or a quarter size trade. Let's get you making money with the trend first before we go trying to flip this thing and trade against that trend, right? So be careful with the counter trend trades here. But again, as long as I've got above a prior high, a half-size trade, AlgoBox will give you the perfect signal there to time the entry off the high. And then don't forget, this will feel like a reversal, but it's not. It's a range rotation. It's a breakout pullback off that prior trading range. So once we get that pullback now, moving average comes down here. This is where we look for those automated signals from AlgoBox linked together, Fibonacci, Elliott wave, real-time harmonics, and then the perfect entry, a real-time order flow signal to buy right back up again. The most important thing is that the entries are easy, right? AlgoBox makes the entries easy for me, but this is the structure that I'm looking for here, right? I am selling above that high. I'm buying it back below that low, trading that rotation combined with a breakout pullback off that previous trading range. So guys, those are some trades I'm watching for Tuesday morning in our trade room. The structure is easy and the entry timing is even easier. Now we partnered up with AlgoBox. And don't forget guys, I'm going to put all the important links to learn more about AlgoBox upper right hand corner or down below tonight's video description of the video. Check it out and you'll see why I'm so excited about using AlgoBox in our trade room tomorrow morning. In the meantime, guys, be well out there, be nice with it, will ya? And be here next time. Adios, amigos. Bye for now.